Hi, my name is Sapphire. I also go by SR Zobel. I am an independently published romance author of 2 books that are currently out right now. And I just thought I would do a little intro video telling you a little bit about who I am, what I'm doing here, and the books I write. So if you love reading, if you love writing, then I hope you stick around. I hope you hang out with me. Maybe check out my shorts that talk a lot more about the current books that I have out. But pretty much the whole reason I'm here is to connect with other readers and writers alike, to hold myself accountable over this next year as I work on my 3rd book and a few other works in progress that I have, and 3, just to have a good time. I am over on Book Talk, I'm on Bookstagram, I'm on Threads, I'm on all of the things. So if you're curious to know more about me or to connect with me in other places, definitely go ahead and check those channels out. So a little bit more about me. I am, like I said before, an indie author. I hail from the Midwest in the United States, and I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I have a bunch of pets. Like, I have a very chaotic and busy life. So I don't know that adding another social media platform to post on is necessarily in my best interest, but we're just gonna check it out. We're just gonna see how it goes. So I have always been a writer. I've always loved writing. As soon as I learned to read and really got into it, it was game over. I knew all I wanted to do was write. And I won't lie to you, I got a little bit mixed up for a little while in my earlier adulthood. I had a YouTube channel once upon a time where I posted makeup tutorials that have since been scrubbed from the internet. I love makeup, I love beauty, I love hair, I love all of the things, but I don't love them enough to make a career out of them. And that's okay. Writing, though? Writing has been all I've ever wanted. My mother used to make me write poetry for every single Christmas card, birthday card, get well card, you name it. I was writing the poems inside of them. I think for my birthday one year, she got me a rhyming dictionary. And let me tell you, I kept that all the way through to adulthood. I've since lost it, but I never intentionally got rid of it. Anyway, so I lost myself for a few years where I wasn't doing any writing. I was just kind of wallowing. I was very depressed. I lost my brother in 2016. And I kind of fell into a deep, dark well of sadness. And I wasn't doing much of anything that was productive. Until one day, my husband got a package in the mail and he hands it to me, and it's a new laptop. And he says, "Honey, you have always wanted to publish a novel. I want you to write the damn book." And so I did. And I used my writing as an outlet to channel my grief, and Flightless was born. Now, I don't have a author copy up at my desk right now, but I do have one of my proof copies. Flightless is it's a lot. So it's not a very big book, but I packed a whole lot of emotion into this book. It follows Birdie and Milo. They have both been dealt with very bad hands, and they're just trying to carve out lives for themselves outside of their trauma and grief. Following up on Flightless is Unconditional, and Unconditional follows Misley and Talon. Misley is Birdie's best friend, and Talon is Milo's brother. Both of these books were released this year, so Flightless came out in March, Unconditional came out in October. I'm very, very proud of these books. I can't wait to have the 3rd installment out. It's not done yet. I'm still working on the first draft, but I'm very, very excited for it. That one will follow Brianna. She is Milo and Talon's oldest sibling. She is the older sister. And all 3 of these books, while they are romances, they are spicy, and romance really is one of the biggest factors in the book. It is also centered in a heavy dose of grief and how individuals deal with it very differently. And I needed to write these books. I feel like I really needed to express my sadness and my own grief from losing a sibling, and to empathize with those around me who also lost him, and for anybody out there who's dealing with something similar. So in Flightless, both Birdie and Milo are grieving. Milo lost his parents when he was a child and subsequently was thrown into a life of just chaos. Birdie was raised by an alcoholic mother who had a string of terrible toxic relationships resulting in abuse, and she lost her brother to addiction. So while Birdie is setting boundaries for herself, she's seeking out a life of peace. She is putting distance between herself and her past. Milo is trying to run away. He thinks that the only choice he has to get away from, one, the abusive family, and two, the trauma and grief of his past, is to run away. And then you have Unconditional and you have Talon, who experienced the same loss that Milo did in the loss of their parents when they were kids. He's handling that grief differently than Milo in that he uses his size and strength to intimidate and scare people into staying away from him. He's closed in on himself. He is not interested in connecting with those around him. And you have Misley, who is grieving the loss of a friend from her childhood, as well as simultaneously grieving the absence of a real relationship with pretty much anyone around her. The next book in the installment will follow Brianna. She is the oldest MacArthur sibling, and hers is going to be the hardest to write because she was the oldest when their parents died. So she felt a great responsibility to then care for her brothers in any way possible. So her method was to assume this black cat, cold bitch mentality and front that she puts on, essentially. At any rate, my books are very focused in grief and all of the different ways that we as humans deal with that and process it. It has been such a good thing for me to write these books because I have processed my own grief in so many different ways, and I have witnessed those around me process it in a lot of different ways. And I think that as humans in general, we need more exposure to the different ways that people process their emotions. So that was something really big for me to add to my stories. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me today. I hope that you stick around. I hope you hit that little subscribe button so that you can see more of the chaos that unfolds as we move along. I hope you check out my books if you're interested. And ultimately, I hope you have a good day. Love you. Bye.